Hello. This podcast is not for kids. It is a podcast in which four friends get together and try and astound each other enough with facts about the world, or how we found out those facts about the world, enough that someone else on the podcast will say,
Holy fucking science.
Today we are joined by friends.
Yay,
Hi, friends.
Hi.
Hello.
We've got Stevie Boebi all the way over there on the yellow couch. Hi.
Hi.
YouTube.com/Stevie. How are you?
I'm so good.
What do you do?
I teach girls how to fuck each other.
Oh, wow. I feel like it's broader.
Yeah,
that.
sure. Other people can watch, but like my target demographic.
But it's more than just instructional how to do it.
Is
videos.
it?
Yeah,
I
relationships,
don't know. I think
communication, advice.
Yeah, but that's how you fuck each other.
Well,
Political commentary.
and some political commentary, which is also
Humor.
how we
Consent,
fuck each
communication, flirting, all those things go into how you fuck each other.
other. But like, I feel like this. Okay, maybe we're going to disagree about this, but the sex isn't like the end goal of all of those things. It's all relationship building,
yeah.
connection. Women.
No.
Some of us in the world have sex just for the sake of sex.
Oh, sure.
I'm not saying I'm
yes.
not saying you can't use them if your goal isn't sex, but you
So-
should have all of those things
Right.
in your.
But is that
sex.
how you think about your channel? It's like a guide to get to laidness.
I guess, yeah, I do. Well, at least the lesbian sex 101
Yeah,
part of it.
sure.
Which is
most
your
of-
current series that
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
It's going really well.
Yeah.
And we've also got Lindsey Doe,
Yeah.
who does similar though different
Broader.
things.
Yeah.
You
Like,
haven't done a lesbian sex video yet. That's
I-
what we have to do together.
well, yes, but you had just gotten off a plane and we're tired, so
we
we'll
will.
save it for later.
Yeah,
But yeah, Sexplanations does all sorts of sex content.
all sorts.
Yeah.
And you just keep going new places.
We just did breast exams
Right.
to kick off Breast Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Breast Awareness Month.
Breast awareness month,
Be aware of the breasts.
but not too aware. Yes, how to touch a boob. Is that what
Yeah.
that video is called?
Part 1 and 2.
Okay.
2 just came out today, right?
Was
Yeah.
part 1 like examination and part 2 for fun?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's a smart idea.
Thanks.
I'm Hank Green. I make YouTube videos.
Yeah, you do.
And in a bunch of different ways and places, and also make a podcast called Holy Fucking Science with my friends. And then we've also got Nick Jenkins with us.
Hi. I'm most notably known for being sick today.
Oh no!
So
you're gonna have that extra raspy voice.
yeah, I'm going to have the extra raspy voice, and I'm glad everybody's in the room with me.
This is a terrible idea.
Yes.
Wait, you're also known for Crash Course.
Yes.
And for helping out with Dear Hank and John.
And once upon a time with Sexplanations a bunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Helped start that thing and
Used
make
to
it work.
teach film.
You do all the
more
things.
than
I just let
sick.
everybody else.
You just
talk
you just
me up.
Flatter you.
yes,
Yeah, flatter
good-
me.
Good call.
That's nice.
It's good to have like a bunch of wingmen who are just here to tell everybody how cool you are. It's really like that is legit important when you're a YouTuber and you're at a YouTube party and nobody knows you can't just assume everybody knows who you are. You got to have somebody with you to be like they have like 'cause you can't like walk up and be like I have 150,000 subscribers and I'm a big deal.
You gotta have a hype man.
You gotta have
Lindsay's
a
my
hype man.
hype man lately.
That's right.
And she's a really good one.
Yeah, she is.
Thanks.
Yeah.
She is actually everywhere we go. Lindsay's like, did you know
Yeah.
that Nick did da-da-da-da-da-da-da?
Yeah.
Do you want to know who taught me that?
Who?
Bridget Jones.
Bridget Jones, Renee Zellweger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The book or the movie?
The movie.
Okay.
Where she's like, when you make introductions, you have to say something about this person
yeah.
to this person and then vice versa.
I do that like in email introductions.
Yep.
I'm always doing that, and I'm like, I know that you two know who each other are, but I'm
all
just gonna
Bridget
say
Jones.
nice things about you.
Yep.
True.
So today, what are we talking about?
We're talking about sex technology, sex tech. Stevie, what's sex tech?
I don't know. It's a
You don't know? I feel
intersection
like-
of sex and tech.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is everything like is a dildo sex tech?
I think
Because
so.
we invented it.
Sure.
I think so. Yeah, because if you're thinking about the arts, a paintbrush is technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah.
Like the original tool use.
Yeah.
I wonder. And then there's tinkling noises, and we fade in, wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then you go back in time, and you see that they're like flinting like spearheads. And then on the side, there's somebody's taking that spearhead and just carving a dildo. It's like the first thing they did once they could figured out what to do with their thumbs, making dildos. But we don't know.
There are so
We
many.
we know some.
Yeah.
Early dildos.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What are the what, yellow couch, are the earliest dildos?
I learned everything I know from her anyway. So you posted about a lot of like wooden dildos.
Yeah, I learn everything I know from Sexplanations too, and so
You
I
just
can't
go watch-
remember it all.
I totally watched my old video. I was just watching an old Crash Course Philosophy video because I was like, I asked Twitter, like, is evil really a thing? And then I went and I was like, I Googled that. Like, what is evil? And then it was like, boop, a video starring me with 2 million views called like The Problem of Evil. And I was like, whoa. And I watched it and I was like, that was super useful.
Yeah, that's my life.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't think that this is a real thing, but I was told in college and have since been disinformed of this, that witches and their magic wands, there was an idea that that witches their wands were dildos, and that they would administer drugs to themselves with them. And that was also the origin of the flying on a broomstick thing.
Wow.
I mean, that all sounds like a stretch, but a really good
It sounds
one.
like such a good stretch. And I was like so there for it. I was like, yeah, putting psychedelics on your dildo and whamming it in there and feeling some.
Whamming it in there.
I was just going all the places.
Oh my God! No wonder they were burned at the stake.
around. Yeah.
Right, because like the coffee enemas, like that's the fastest way to get the coffee rush.
I mean,
the caffeine
literally
rush.
the last episode of Holy Fucking Science, we were talking about putting vodka in your butt. So
Yeah, it's
apparently that's where we're headed.
Welcome to the show.
I don't know how to turn off vibrations on my phone. Why am I on a tech show?
That's very sex
You're
tech.
on a tech show for that very reason.
Yeah.
Stevie is demonstrating.
Right. Good. I don't know how to choose who's going to go first without making people do things that I don't want to make them do. So, Lindsey, go first.
You don't make us do anything.
I
will consent.
am very aware of the power that I have over people, and I don't want to abuse it.
Oh.
Because I'm your boss.
Keep me around
Yeah, but
is
I
because
think
you
that
don't.
sometimes employees,
Yeah.
or in this case, contractors or friends or whatever, also have a lot of power because we can call out
people don't
boss, and
always
boss
know.
can get
people
in
don't always
big
know
trouble.
the power that they have, and so I try to be very cautious with mine. And I'm not going to be like, "When was the last time you did it?" Like, it's just not. I'm not going to
the
ask you
sex
that
thing. Got it,
question.
got
It's been a while. I slept in a tent last night and I was hoping to maybe get laid, but I didn't.
Also, define got laid.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to raise that as well.
Right. It's- yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's a complicated one.
For
Exactly.
me, getting laid would mean something hard going into my vagina.
Okay, so penetration for you.
Yeah.
So anal sex is not getting laid.
No,
I'm not doing that these days.
Okay.
Wow.
So that was
That's a
like
moot point.
that was my youth. So that was I'm beyond that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I have to worry
my
about
poor
fissures or
old
something.
wrecked body can no
Yes.
longer handle these activities.
No. Okay, well, I will start. But before I do that, I want to read the definition of technology.
All right.
It says science of craft, from the Greek techne, art, skill, cunning of hand. It's the collection of techniques, skills, methods, and processes used in the production of goods or services or in the accomplishment of objectives such as scientific investigation. So pretty much everything. We're basically talking about sex and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Right. I like the accomplishment of objectives.
Oh, so good. Okay,
That's
so
amazing.
mine, I didn't know that I would find something actually pertinent to my life, but it indeed is. So I had braces for the last 2 years or something. And what they do after you get braces is they make you wear these horrible things called retainers, and they're plastic, and they usually cover the front of your tooth, the back of your tooth, and then they end. So the roof of your mouth is sometimes open, and there's that sharp edge between the
Ooh.
retainer and the roof of your mouth, which is not, super friendly for a penis. So anyway, there is this person. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Taiwanese. Kuan Yi Ku?
But you don't have to wear your retainer all the time, do you?
No, just at night.
You can just take it out if you need to.
Sure, yeah. But I put it in my mouth. I don't want to put it on the nightstand and have a
Right.
dog or something eat it or
Yeah.
forget it.
Okay.
Well, check this out. This is so cool.
All right.
Sex and tech. Here we go. This person's name is spelled Kuang-yi. Last name, I think, is Ku.
Okay.
This is a dentist turned artist who took the molds that you make for building the retainer for your teeth, and then you could add studs or cones or balls, etc., so that you have a retainer that is actually designed to enhance fellatio.
That is the most sex nerd thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's like getting your tongue pierced thing, right?
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a little extra stimulation.
Oh, there's a ton, and you can personalize it. So he'll do these workshops where he invites people in, and then they get to do impressions of their teeth, and then adding to the impressions all of these different shapes.
Well, it's also
so
like
cool.
teeth aren't necessarily the nicest thing for a penis either. So like it's like
So the retainer softens
or
it.
without a retainer,
Yeah.
is a good thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's great. And
Can I see pictures of it?
Yes, you may. What I love about it is that they're saying we're actually going to make these mechanisms from your
terrible. It looks terrible. I mean, I'm sure it feels great, but it looks terrifying. Looks like,
When have you
like
ever-
the pharyngeal teeth of a goldfish is what it looks like. Oh my god. Oh, roof of the mouth teeth. I thought that they were on I thought that the balls were on the tooth part. They're on the upper part.
Yeah, they're on the upper part.
Okay. I mean, I could see how that's a good idea, but like I don't want to look at it. It's upsetting to look at for me.
When have you
I don't
ever
know
looked at
why.
a retainer and been like, I want to look at this?
It's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, some
That is
people,
so
I'm sure.
cool. It looks like the inside of, I don't know what they're called because I don't want to say the brand name. Is
You
it
could say-
Pocket Pussy?
Well, there's
Fleshlight?
pocket pussy.
Oh, yeah,
It's the
fleshlight.
inside of a fleshlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the inside of one.
Yeah.
And I don't think you
so
really want to
cool.
look at that either.
They're pretty.
I mean,
I don't know. There's all
as long as it's
it's almost like
it's like as long as
trypophobia.
it's brand new.
Like
right.
It's
Yeah.
almost the opposite. It's all these
Aw.
things sticking
Bumpophobia.
out and
Yeah.
Friends,
they're-
this is so exciting. This is meant to make fellatio better. I'm excited
Again,
about
that's-
I'm not saying I'm not
amazing.
excited.
I agree with Hank. It probably feels
looks
fantastic.
like it would feel good, but it
Yeah.
does not look like I want to look at it.
Okay. Well, okay. So here's
I
what
love
I
it.
think is so exciting about it is that you have these retainers, right, that are built for the mouth to keep the teeth straight. And the mouth is thought of as being this place for chewing, breathing, whatever, right? And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not thought about for its
Manipulation.
sexual purpose. And now they're saying, so we're not just going to have the retainers to improve fellatio. We're going to have the retainers to mark what kind of sexual behaviors you're into. So by wearing these or by changing your teeth in some form or by modifying your body so that
Just
it's
a
a
little
certain
sign.
color or whatever, right? You're signaling, I like giving head. I think
That's
it's
so
great.
cool.
And this is great. I want to tell you what it's called. It's called the Fellatio Modification Project. And there is also a cunnilingus analingus modification project that takes dental dams and modifies them so that they're not just for protection, the same way that a retainer is not just for straightening your teeth, but it's also designed to increase pleasure.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
good call.
Right?
Yeah, that is a
Isn't
good
that
call.
great?
Love
It
it.
makes me so happy.
That's awesome. I love
You're
it.
glowing right now.
I want to know what the manufacturing process is. Like, what factory in Vietnam is like, and I'm just making a weird. What is this for? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess in my mind, I'd be like, if it's something weird, oh, yeah, the default is sex. Think about all the sex toys that are out there and how
That's true.
strange they look, and somebody has to make them.
Have you ever seen that dumpster full of dildo molds?
No.
What?
So like there was
Wanna see it?
so like the way that you make injection molded products has changed a lot over the years, but you used to need like these big solid metal molds that like they would come together like these two halves of the piece, and you'd shoot a bunch of something, some kind of plastic into it, and then you break the pieces apart.
Right.
You do it over and over again. That's changed now, and you don't need as many resources, and there's cheaper ways to do it. So this dildo factory was closing down, and they didn't need these dildo molds, and they were sending them off to get recycled because they're just steel into something else. And somebody just took a picture of this giant dumpster full of like giant dick molds.
They should have made a house out of them.
The greatest tragedy in Lindsey's so far life.
Art.
Yeah, can you imagine?
That would be cool. Like these molds made so much pleasure.
Yeah,
happen.
exactly. A literal house of pleasure,
Yeah.
historic pleasure.
Yeah, there they all are. I found it.
Oh, you're gonna.
Oh
show
my
us.
Oh, I
goodness.
can't wait.
Yeah.
Holy.
Fucking
I'm gonna be
science.
so. Oh.
Look at all these dicks.
Whoa!
Doesn't that just make you smile?
That's so cool.
I thought that you were referring to the
part-
rectangular
Yeah.
half and half.
Yeah.
And so we would only see the
dick part.
inside
Yeah,
part.
I was
but
also
these
that's what I
are
had imagined in my head. But
even cooler.
That's like my house's aesthetic too.
yeah, just rusty dicks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How could they do that?
Oh, I want to make sculptures out of them.
Didn't they know? Like, don't they have Pinterest wherever they are?
Rust is in.
Rust is
It
in.
is.
Oh man.
That's so cool.
Well,
We're going to be looking back at
That's what
this rust aesthetic that is in 10
Right.
years. It's going to be
Embarrassed.
like that the late 80s, early 90s fully carpeted everything.
Yep.
Really? I love
Yeah.
Rust. I hope it
Oh,
sticks
we
around.
loved the fully carpeted thing too in 89
Oh yeah,
and
it's
90.
gonna go away. But then you just shine those dicks, and then they take on a new aesthetic.
Just shine those dicks.
Polish
Yeah,
them up.
Yeah.
or cover them in pearls or plastic or whatever. Oh my gosh, you could have artists each get one and then put their own. You know how they do
yeah.
horses
Oh, that would
or
be
pigs
cool.
in other
Yeah.
cities?
That would be really cool. You could
Right?
have a really cool exhibit at the MoMA.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
just,
Just like,
painted
yeah, like you get a bunch of modern
industrial
artists.
dildo molds.
Yeah, that would be
Oh.
sweet.
I'm into it.
All these missed opportunities.
I don't know where this picture is from, but
I bet you we
several
can find
hundred steel dildo molds.
I am grateful that
or
they recycled
the
them,
other,
though.
The other title this person suggested, The Origin of the Erotic Iron Throne.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, you
Build
could
instead
make
of swords, you
you'd
can
get
make it
a-
out of
dicks.
yeah, just beautiful penises.
Okay, who's
All right.
next?
I'll go.
Wait, was that your holy fucking science? Because
No.
I think we all holy fucking scienced you.
we did.
No, I should have remembered that, but no. The thing that I almost did, and I brought up with Stevie earlier, is there was a woman who created a strap-on penis that had a like squeeze thing, and so she was able to inseminate her partner with the sperm that she had gotten from the sperm bank or from somebody who had donated it, and so like was having actual sex with her partner and inseminated, and she got pregnant with this thing, and then she has made and sold it. So it's a way for people who can't naturally inseminate each other to do it during sex, which is really nice.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's
Well, yeah, there was
incredible.
like I want to say this is not the happiest of stories, but do permit me. That I can't remember the name of the person that this happened to, but I think it was back in the 60s during circumcision. They were using a laser technique to do circumcision, and it wound up burning off the penis. And this resulted in a psychologist or psychiatrist saying, well, what we can do is you can castrate him and raise him as a girl.
Yeah, John Money,
We were
man.
just talking about
We did an
Yeah.
episode about him.
Did you?
We did. You and me.
What? No, I know we talked about it, but I didn't know we actually did it.
Yeah.
But I think they built something for him that was very similar to that. Because
Okay.
it was like nature versus nurture, but also John Money was apparently skeezy as hell.
He was the psychologist.
Yes.
And he, I think, is still alive. So if you're listening, Nick thinks you're skeezy. Not all of us.
I think some things. I
not
think
represent the views of this podcast necessarily.
it's been a while since I've heard the story, so I apologize to John Money if I'm remembering this wrong. But apparently, he did some abusive things. But regardless, the kid who grew up, I think they made something like that for him. So
Prosthesis.
yeah, it was a prosthesis.
So the thing that I ended up going with is, again, reaching back into the history of technology a little bit. So as long as we probably have had the ability to artificially stimulate ourselves, we have been doing that. But back in the...
I'm just nodding along. Yeah.
yes,
we have.
quite. But mechanically doing this with like gears and technology and cranks and such
Sounds dangerous.
seems to be relatively new. Yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy. Like now, of course, technology can all fit into it all goes inside of the thing, and you don't have to worry about it. You just plug it in, and it all works, and it's all waterproof and everything. But back like if you wanted to make a vibrator in the 1800s, like there was no electricity. So there is, and indeed it still exists. and
Oh
you can
my
look at
God.
it. A steam-powered vibrator.
That is
No.
amazing.
Oh,
Yes.
Need.
How do you two not know about this? I mean, okay, Hank, I get, but like
idea.
you two, what?
Nicholas
Jenkins, you animated a steam-powered vibrator for Sexplanations.
Look, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night.
I knew that they had
I
like
feel you.
ones that they said were like shavers, and it had like an
Right.
attachment.
Yeah, but those were
But
like pluggy in.
Yeah. That's like rather
there
new.
was in 1734 the first known vibrator had a hand crank like an egg beater.
Fuck off.
And it like it's a terrible noise that I wish I hadn't made.
Well, those were the eggs.
But it's like
those were the eggs.
it's like when you go to Walgreens and they have the row of shoulder massagers.
Yeah, exactly.
crank.
And they were sometimes prescribed by doctors for hysteria.
Of course.
So like something wrong with this woman. She needs to
Treat her,
she needs to have an orgasm.
which
But-
was treatable, not curable.
Right, so you keep coming back.
Yeah.
It's like a haircut,
Yeah.
but more
Is it?
frequent than that. Yeah, because you're gonna
It's like
need another
once a week,
haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that, though? Is it a bad thing necessarily to have a place where you can go and get an orgasm?
No, not at all. I
Yeah.
think it's bullshit that female sexuality wasn't understood, and so they
And it was
were
prescribed
Yeah.
As
a
like a treatment for a disease.
a
Yeah.
mental illness is that
Exactly.
I want to get laid.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But-
am glad though that the doctors could perform their service. I am glad that that they didn't just give them an orgasm and send them on their merry way.
Glad they didn't give them a lobotomy
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the
Right.
big
The
one.
steam powered. Did you read where that
So-
came from?
Well, I've got a picture, and what I do
Oh, I
know
can't
about
wait.
it. So I'm looking at it, and it seems like one of the things that's like actually going to go in and out, but I'm not sure because in the article it's talking about how it's just good at vibrating. So I can't tell for sure, but it looks like this is a piston situation. It's old and gross looking, so I'm not a huge fan
Well, it's
of
old.
the way that it looks, and I don't think anyone should use it now. But what they're saying is that only the penis part of it was visible to the patient, and the rest of it was behind a wall. So they like walled it off,
The glory
so
hole.
the penis is just sort of coming out of the wall, and all this like mechanical contraption, which you can of course look at if you just search for steam powered vibrator. It's
Oh my god.
you're not going to get too many. Like, don't do it at work.
Unless you work here.
Yeah, unless you are me. And
Yeah.
yep.
My Google search over the last 2 days has been really entertaining.
Oh God,
for
I would
preparing
love to
for
just
this.
go through all of the things that
Yeah.
I've searched, getting ready for this episode.
I started searching
Steam better
porn
than
research.
yeah,
Porn research.
sex research, sex science, sex technology, and it's just like this is just porn. Porn.
Porny porn.
But yeah, Steam. It's crazy to think that somebody like worked really hard to make this thing happen. It's pretty complicated.
But do you
looking.
know why?
Tell me.
It's because the doctors were manually stimulating the women.
Mhm.
I'm using women because that's what
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were called at the time, and their wrists were sore. So they
What?
so
I
they
thought-
designed this
Oh my
to
God.
serve themselves.
They were getting tendinitis.
Yes. That the one particular doctor who invented it designed it because
He
his
was like,
wrist was
I
getting
just,
sore.
I cannot handle
Yeah.
it.
Handle.
He's making, but he was. I feel like he was had a pretty good practice then. Things were going
I don't
well.
know how much it's called. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Outsource the
Proxima.
stimulation.
Yeah.
It's Proxima, right? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Why'd you look at
That
me?
is the treatment
Okay.
or the euphemism for orgasm is called
Oh,
proxima.
paroxysm.
Praxa? One of those.
Paroxysm.
Yep.
A sudden attack or violent expression of a particular emotion or activity. A sudden recurrence or attack of a disease. Or apparently coming.
Wanting to come is violent, apparently.
Yeah. A paroxysm of weeping. Is the
Oh,
example.
no.
But it has decreased dramatically in use since around 1875.
What, steam-powered dildos?
That as well.
Hmm.
I was talking about the word paroxysm.
I really want one.
A steam-powered dildo or
Yeah.
a paroxysm?
I have a guest room. I could just have the dildo in there. I want to see it. I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
sorry. It's beautiful and wonderful. and
Reveal.
Everything.
Oh my god.
exactly
I think
what you
the
would
end
imagine.
is made out of leather.
Definitely my aesthetic
Very,
again.
yeah, more rust.
Very, very steampunkish.
Yeah, very steampunk dildo.
Oh my god.
Okay, yep. That's pretty much what I got for you.
Holy fucking science.
Oh, thanks.
Holy
Yeah, holy
science.
fucking science. People,
I wanna
there
see
wasn't
it
a lot to do back then.
I want to see it operating.
Oh, let's see if somebody's actually running
Does
it.
it still work?
You're going to pull up a Sexplanations episode that just has this animated.
Are you sure that was me?
I
I
think
feel like
so.
I would have remembered that.
I
didn't do a lot
You didn't
of
remember
intricate-
John Money.
No, I remember the Big Think. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a technology historian.
Well,
She,
yes,
but judging by the way she looks, she probably sounds like this. This is what I'm-
Julia
that's
Child?
what I'm guessing.
Okay, which one of you are next?
I'll go.
Yeah, do it.
Wait, shouldn't we talk about our sponsor?
Our sponsor for this episode is Big Sky Brewery. They make a lot of delicious beers. We're all drinking Moose Drool today. And in fact, all of us, which just doesn't usually happen because there's lots of people who don't drink in the world.
Well, Lindsey
Lindsey's not
doesn't.
Oh,
drinking.
you weren't. You were just
You're
showing
like
off
all of us.
showing off a closed can.
Yeah. This is my first time having brown ale, and I'm actually really enjoying
It's really
it.
nice.
Yeah,
It's a
I like
good,
it.
tasty
I like it.
flavor. We have
It's
so
really
much
good.
good beer in Missoula.
I love the name too. Cute.
Moose Drool.
Do you ever have a show where everyone drinks?
I don't think I've ever been on a Holy Fucking Science where everybody was having a beer.
I feel like the Holy Fucking Science we did with Matt, Nicole, and Thomas Frank, I think we were all
Sure.
drinking. Okay, so my thing is about porn and VR.
Okay.
So I think we're all probably aware that as soon as any technology comes around, whether for video in any way,
Yeah, any media
any
at all.
media at
Yeah.
all, porn is right there.
Yeah.
And usually one of the things pushing it forward, and actually it was something that we kind of went around in Crash Course Film History,
Mhm.
that a few people in the comments have, notably suggested asked why did we go around the history of porn, especially when we're talking about the video era, and it's kind of like, well, I feel like that's its own video, but whatever. But now that VR is becoming a thing, and you have Google Cardboard and Oculus Rift, things like that, the porn industry is right there again. And I think the thing that I want to bring up and talk about is really more about how it's changing what porn is, more so than necessarily the tech behind it. The tech behind it is fascinating because it's much more difficult to shoot VR porn. Usually it's done in first person. And typically right now I'm going to be talking about it mostly from the male perspective because that's how most of them are being shot right now is for a male audience. So
You just like hold a 360 camera and walk around?
yes.
Wow.
Well,
Well, you
have
don't really
sex.
walk
you,
much
you,
around.
you
Yeah.
so
sit
much.
down or
Yeah,
lay
I
down.
guess.
Yeah. Or
And
stand.
and they're typically they're only 180 degrees. They're not 360 because
That
if
does
you're
make
on
it a lot
if you're
easier
on
to
the bed,
Yeah.
you're not going to be needing to see what's behind you.
Oh, I'm really curious what the wallpaper
Yeah.
is.
But what about Sex and
I'm just imagining
Space?
someone walking
about
around with the
sex?
headset on masturbating. Like,
Yeah.
what's behind me?
I'm pretty sure that's I'm pretty that-
Well, yeah. So there's two sort of ways that VR can work. There's like fixed perspective VR, where you are in the place where the person recording it is, and that's sort of how it has to be if it's recorded video. But if it's animated, like 3D animated, then you can actually move inside of the space,
Right.
And you could go to something and do something or
Right.
whatever.
So all you're really doing with this is you're sort of fixed in space. You are the person,
Yeah.
whoever this perspective is, and then there is a performer or multiple performers. And one of the things that's like really has changed performance. So the actors now have to keep direct contact with the camera. Direct eye contact with the camera, not
yeah,
the other
yeah.
person they're performing with. The other
Right.
person they're performing with is
Look at-
usually disconnected from the camera. So the camera's above them like this, and then they have to, all of their
They
attention
should
has
just
to
put
go
a
toward the
mask
camera.
on so you don't reminded not to look at them. Just a
But
creepy blank mask with no features on it, and then the camera's got eyes.
yeah,
Yeah, but Hank, you have to do this all the time. When
Mm-hmm.
you're the host, you're not looking at the person, you're looking at the camera.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. No, I know. It's
Oh,
all.
see,
It's
I'm just
all-
saying you'd be great at this.
Oh, yeah.
But
Audition.
they've had to go through casting. They have found actors who are obviously better at it than others, and it's really like they've invented this post-production workflow that happens on set. So now they can actually start seeing that all of their footage is coming together properly before it even goes to post-production.
So
Yeah,
it's not
'cause-
one take then?
No, it's not
Wow.
usually one take. It's
That'd be hard.
yeah, it would be hard.
Oh,
Anyway.
God. It's just hard to do anything in one take, but it's sort of understandable to be like, okay, well now we've got this new workflow, and with video you could just push the button and it like replays. But if you're doing like 180 degrees, sometimes there's like 8 different cameras involved, and you have to stitch them all together, which means you can't easily see what's going on.
Yeah. And so the video technology is being pushed forward. The performances are being pushed forward, which I found fascinating. Like that's a really interesting thing to me, is how actors have to interact with cameras. It was a big thing for me when I came to start working with Hank, and how it's like, this is a new thing for me, interacting directly with the camera. And then now thinking that not only are you interacting with that camera, but that camera is actually a person. Like you are treating that camera as a person. So it's changing all of those things. And now we have different porn companies who have completely stopped producing normal scenes, and they've gone completely over to VR. So, and they're seeing, I think they said between 50 and 200% increase in subscribers every month.
There you go, Stevie.
What?
Well, there she goes. What?
Yeah.
Because Stevie is going to make a porn when she reaches 2 million subscribers.
1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
she's
way
going to make
easier.
another porn when she reaches 2 million.
I know. Maybe I'll really like it
You got
and then
just
become
do
a
it all
porn
the time.
producer.
What
Yeah,
is-
you just do VR.
how many subscribers do you have?
600,000?
Oh, so it's like a thing that probably was going to happen.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
Good for you. I hope you have a good time.
Yeah. Are you gonna do VR now? That sounds complicated.
It's complicated, and a lot of the troubles that they're having is like it's mostly in post now is the problem, because normally you've got a bunch of cameras that you can fix things if something goes wrong, if there's an outtake or something, you can kind of cut away. But with this sort of one shot, cutting becomes a lot more difficult, and you have to prepare for where those cuts are going to be in a different way. So
I have a solution.
Oh, Lindsey's going to be the porn director of the future.
go for it.
Yeah, there's a door someplace, and there's a knock, knock, knock. And so the person turns to see if mom or someone is coming. And then
That quick, it's easy to
the turn gets
That's the
cut.
classic cut in
Yeah.
where they stitch
the blur cut.
whip pan.
blur cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're fine. You just have to distract this person.
But then that becomes
The
more.
idea is that you shouldn't need to have the camera move because you're capturing all that anyway. So
Well, that's it, because you're supposed to be
as
able
the
to-
viewer turn your head and you
Yeah.
look, but the camera doesn't move. The camera's already viewing that area.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No.
Because
So when you're in-
you're looking around.
Isn't it
his
a
face, and you
bunch
can
of
look in different
cameras?
Yeah, it's usually like
Yeah.
So and also it can be 3D, which means there's double the cameras because there's one for each of your eyes. And
I remember 3D porn when that was like a new cool thing.
Yeah.
But I'm
Lasted
saying
about
if
a week and a
the
half.
let's say the woman is performing
Mm-hmm.
and that's the main camera,
Right.
and you need to give her a break so that you can cut in day 2 or day 3.
Right.
There's knock, knock, knock. This person turns. This camera.
But the camera
switches.
is not supposed to ever turn.
Yeah,
it's supposed to
it's
always
all
stay
reliant
steady, and
on
you turn the when
person
you want to
watching
look in
it.
a different place.
Yeah.
There's ways to do it. I mean,
There are.
you could. It's they fade. I have not watched VR porn yet, but I think that like you just sort of like instead of having like a sharp cut, which is disorienting, you just fade cut.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either because I don't have a headset.
I don't know.
So I'm kind of
have a
like,
way to do it,
it just
and
looks
I don't know
weird.
how to do it. If
How
I
much
did,
is it?
But I think I'd figure it out.
Well, I mean, cardboard.
Yeah, let's get down to.
The Google Cardboard is not.
No, yeah. I mean, it works with you could make it work with your phone if you had a thing.
Yeah, no, I mean
But
the porn, like
porn
to
itself, I
purchase
don't
the
know
porn.
how much.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, is there a website? We're gonna do this
Where's-
later.
yeah.
I would imagine there's some.
There's
on
got to be some for
Pornhub.
free. Yeah.
Like I would imagine there's some that have been uploaded on Pornhub
it's
or whatever you like.
porn.
Just search.
Sponsored by.
Incognito mode. Where do I look at VR porn, Google? Siri, VR pornography. Virtual
you meant.
reality, 3-dimensional nudity.
So the big thing for me is just how one, porn is always on the edge of technology.
Yeah.
Like that is impressive to me. And I think it should be very clear here, and Lindsey and I have talked about this a lot, that I love porn and I love porn actors, and I think that, but I don't love abuse. So
Right.
anytime, but abuse can happen in any media. Like I think we just stigmatize it because it's sexuality. So I don't like it when people are being abused. But I love that the industry is just on the edge here and really pushing things forward and changing things. They were a big part of the reason Laserdisc didn't take off. They're a big part of the reason VHS was the winner in the VHS Betamax wars. They're a big, the huge thing in the early days of the internet was just porn until social media kind of came and took that mantle. And
why
so
our phones are so big.
are they?
Yeah. Is that people are like, I can't watch porn on this tiny phone.
Mm-hmm.
I can't play games on my tiny phone. I kind of wish, now that I actually play app games, I kind of wish I had a Plus again.
Yeah,
But-
my phone's huge, so
So we know what that
So
means.
that's yeah.
I'm good.
So that's it. I just think that it's fascinating how, and there's some great articles about it, just how hard they're pushing the technology and how they really consider it to be crowdsourced because they're getting feedback constantly about what's working and what's not working and where they'd like it to go. And that's then translating into storylines and performance and everything. And I just think that's amazing.
It is amazing. It is. And it's really cool for people who experience paraphilia. So when their attraction goes beyond what is considered socially acceptable and they want to be able to experience arousal, experience those relationships. And if you have a VR system that can create that fantasy world for you, then you're doing it safely and consensually.
Yeah.
So good.
Absolutely. So that's what I got.
Good job, Nick.
Holy
Stevie.
fucking
Science.
science. So mine is an app. Since I'm queer, sex for me is very political, and I like to make choices and try to do things to where anyone that wants to have sex that's not heterosexual can, and it's legal to do and all of that, and I'm trying to do little things that will change that. So the app is called Nudge for Change, and basically how it works, can you pull up the app? It kind of starts like Tinder, so it'll show you and ask you what things you care about. So the first one that pops up is Trump issues. So it says, would you like to be informed if a business... So it basically knows your GPS location and then helps you choose which businesses to shop at or spend your money at based on what you think. So this one... If you pass by a business or you're about to walk into a business that is on Boycott Trump list or the Grab Your Wallet list or Sleeping Giant list, Sleeping Giants pressures companies to stop advertising on Breitbart.
Okay.
So I'm going to say yes to this one. Then it's like Tinder. So do you care about workers' rights? No. Yes, obviously. Environment, and then women's equality. So paid maternity leave, hostile work environment, even lack of women in upper management or board positions. So basically, once you say yes to all of these things, say yes to all of them. LGBT equality. Some companies don't offer like employment benefits to the partners of people that are LGBT.
Right. And in a lot of places, they still can't get married. And
Right.
Yeah.
So basically what it does is after you say yes or no to whatever you care about, when you walk past or into a business, it'll be like, don't go in there. Here's some other things in the
Ding.
area that
Right.
have a better rating.
That is
So-
brilliant.
Yeah.
It basically rates things on a system of like red, yellow, green. And yeah,
Smart pants.
that's
love
my
that.
thing. Nudge for change.
Yeah. I
So
have
good.
that with my employees who are like, stop going to Jimmy John's. That guy's a dick.
You said that?
Why is he a
No,
dick?
I don't, yeah, no. People, my friends have said that to me.
Oh, they tell you to stop going there. And did you
yeah.
say, hey, I made an entire Vlog Brothers
I did make basically
music
a free
video for
brand
them.
deal, like a very high quality brand deal for Jimmy John's, and then found out that he's like a big game elephant hunter. And I'm like funding his elephant. And also, they make their employees sign like non-compete
Compete clauses.
to work at a fast food job. And if you work at Jimmy John's, you can't work at another sandwich shop for like 2 years.
Okay, let me just talk to
It's
people who are watching.
Jimmy John's.
You don't non-compete. No, you don't get to do that.
It is a weird thing.
It is stupid.
It's weird. It's
And
weird. I mean, I get it for like C-level executives.
Yeah.
But they're making sandwiches. Like, if they want to get a different job, let them get a different job. What are they going to like steal your Jimmy John's secrets? What's happening?
Subway doesn't want to know the Jimmy John secrets.
Also, working at Jimmy John's is going to give you what kind of like leg up to get a job at Subway?
I mean,
Isn't
maybe,
that the point of a
maybe
non-compete?
they have better training at Jimmy John's. They can make. I mean, they do seem to make sandwiches at least faster.
Oh my God. See, you're endorsing them now. Look what you're doing.
Jimmy John's. We used to have like a straight up like Jimmy John's clone, but it closed down. So I could have them.
All of us were depressed.
I'd have their food, but now I have to go back to Jimmy John's.
I will make
you
you
don't
sandwiches.
have to. Yeah, Nick will make you sandwiches.
You tell me when you're coming to the office. I will have lunch prepared for you.
Nick's making me sandwiches.
Yeah.
Did you hear it? Everybody heard it, right?
Yeah.
Nick's going to make me sandwiches.
You just got to communicate and
ASMR.
tell me.
And Stevie's going to put nudge on your phone so
All
that
right.
Yeah, I'm
when
totally
you try
gonna
to go to Jimmy
download
John's,
it right
it's going to
now.
go bing.
It'd be like, you are literally 50 feet away from Taco del Sol. Jesus Lord, man. Just go get a burrito from the local place.
That's what it does. It just shames you. It's like, don't go to McDonald's. There's a Jack in the Box over there. I have no idea if one of those is.
Yeah. good or
Watch
bad.
everything be red.
Yeah.
I was looking at it. Some of them, like, I was surprised.
Oh no, where do we
Yeah.
go?
Well, you got to
Nudge will tell you.
prioritize. What do you actually care about?
I know. Just say no to everything except
Well,
the
and
gay
look,
stuff.
Except the- yeah,
sometimes,
just keep
Fuck
gay
the
stuff.
elephants.
let's all be honest, sometimes you just got to eat. Like,
Yeah.
True.
there's
And sometimes you got to eat an elephant.
No. What? No.
An elephant has like 6 million calories.
I'm not the bad guy in this episode of Holy Fucking Science.
I mean, if Jimmy John, is that his name? If he was eating the elephant, I don't think people would be mad or as mad.
Probably was not eating the elephant. I imagine someone ate the elephant. Do you eat elephants? And
Yeah, what do you do with the carcass?
I feel like you
Let us
must
know in the
eat-
comments.
Do you eat elephant?
Because we might be ethnocentric right now where
Yeah,
we say,
maybe
oh
it's-
gosh, shame on you for eating elephants, but we eat deer
Uh,
and
It-
cow and
yeah, apparently
pig.
People eat elephant. I
And
mean, there's
rabbit
a lot,
and
there's a lot
duck
of elephant
and chicken.
elephant.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it's very ethnocentric. It's also, we're not taking into account poverty and
Sure,
and,
sure, sure,
and,
yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
But
I don't.
I'm
It doesn't
not-
sound
I'm just
weird to eat an
wondering, like,
elephant.
If Jimmy
Me.
John kills an elephant, he's not going to eat it, but maybe somebody is. He's just going to like maybe take its tail back home or whatever. Donald Trump
really
Jr. did.
sad right now.
But I feel like somebody's
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't getting sad. I'm fine. The world is fine. Nothing's terrible.
Nothing.
Oh.
2017, best year ever.
Best year ever. Put that on my ringtone.
What? This is terrible. Wait, tell them about some other apps that you love because I really like the ones you suggested.
What other ones? did
Do
I
you got good
suggest?
sex apps?
Yeah, you do.
We
really?
were talking earlier on How to Adult about that Mojo.
Oh, Mojo upgrade. Have you heard of Mojo upgrade?
No.
You haven't?
Ooh, tell me.
I haven't either. What is Mojo Upgrade?
So Mojo
Yeah,
Upgrade
upgrade
is a
Mojo.
site that it's kind of like a quiz. So it'll have a list of a bunch of like common kinks. So common like whatever, sexually deviant things like ass eating or golden showers or BDSM, spanking. It even like says super vanilla stuff like oral sex or whatever. So and it asks you a bunch of questions. You do it with your partner, so both of you are separate when you answer
yes.
it. Yeah.
It's like a want, will, won't list.
Yeah.
It's a what?
Want,
Like a
will, won't.
Yeah, that thing.
Oh, yeah. But it only tells your partner things you said yes or maybe to. If you
Yeah,
both said yes
yeah.
or maybe. So you can be like, yeah, I
can
want
but
golden
they'll
showers, but I'm
never
like
know.
scared to tell my partner that. And then you both match on it and you're like, let's be on each other. Yay.
It's Tinder for sex behaviors.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was just
cool.
thinking because it's like that's the safety of Tinder, right? It's like, well, they're not going to know that I swipe right unless they swipe right on me. So that means it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just went to mojoupgrade.com and I think that it looks extraordinarily functional, by which I mean the design is not high quality.
Oh, yeah. It glitches a lot, but I don't know anything
Make
that's
it better,
similar.
Hank.
Yeah.
I'll just let them know, hey, Mojo folk.
We want you to be a good thing for
I love
us
it
to use.
until we
Donate.
Until we hired Duncan. Hank was the best designer out of all of us. Like he could just try this, whoop-ha, and there's done. It's a beautiful design.
That was a great noise for his magicianship.
Whoop-ha!
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you going to do while you're watching Next Generation? I've seen it before. I don't know.
That's fair.
VR porn.
That's true.
I can't watch VR porn and Star Trek The Next Generation at the same time, Lindsay Doe.
I don't think you can watch VR
I
porn and
think
design something
they-
either.
No, that'd
All
be very
right.
hard.
All of you
That would be
need
very
to
hard.
turn on your creative juices
But-
and figure out how
but-
this works.
Okay, I figured it out. Are you telling me that there's VR TNG porn? Because I am signed up.
Put them together.
It's the holodeck.
Or it's just like Data and Tasha Yar, and I'm just watching.
Yeah.
But remember Barkley's
there's
really
that.
Remember Barkley's really tame porn on the holodeck? It was
several people had weird tame porn on the holodeck.
So
They're
like,
nerding out hard
I have
right
no idea
now.
what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
so Star Trek The Next Generation, they had a holodeck. You could go, it could be whatever you want, but because of copyright licenses, obviously it couldn't be anything that was
What
modern.
the hell's a holodeck?
Holodeck is
it's like VR, but like it's a room where the VR happens and you can touch stuff.
yeah.
And in DS9, there was a place called the Holo Suite where you could rent like a half an hour and you could go do it with.
Can you tell that my eyes are
Not
glazing
true
over, or is it
people.
not obvious?
No, don't worry,
It's all
Hank. Some
sex
people
stuff.
think this is sexy. Keep going.
Oh my God, that was the most
I'm not saying
condescending thing that you've ever said to me.
I'm not. No, I'm serious. I think it's
Yeah.
great. There are a whole bunch
yeah.
of sapiosexuals out there who are like, yeah.
Uh,
And by yeah, I mean they're like rubbing it.
Yes, but
Hank and I will continue our
it always seemed like
holodeck
in
discussion
TNG in the Next Generation, like you never really approached the sexual applications, potential sexual applications of this. Like obviously this would be used for porn holodeck,
Right.
And then in DS9 it was like, and of course your people are paying money to go have sex with whatever they want. But Geordi LaForge basically fell in love with a girl who was fake. And then she showed up. Like, so he was like doing these simulations where like, she was an engineer and they had talked and he like programmed her to help him out with engineering simulations while they were on the holodecks to like this fake version of her. And then like,
Is this a fanfic or is this happening
This
in
actually
the
happened in the show.
Actually happened.
And they
In the
kept-
show?
Yes.
They kept
Okay.
tweaking her program to make her more attracted to him, the fake engineer lady,
Yeah.
and like flirt with him, and they like had this, and he like got this whole fake relationship, and then she showed up and found out about it.
The
and was
real
like-
her shows
she's-
up.
Yeah, the real her shows up. The program starts, and like the fake her starts flirting with real her because the fake her thinks it's Geordi, and she's like, "This is the worst thing."
Oh,
And
I
they-
would be
and-
so into that if I started flirting with myself. I'd be like, yes.
No, but like she
That's
knows
so
that,
much of
like,
your
she knows
content
that
already. I love
Basically, he's been having sex with a fake version of her, and it creeps her out.
Oh yeah, is that?
Yeah.
Do you have to get consent from the person that it's molded after?
But I don't think that they ever did it. They just flirted a bunch because,
They had
to
a
be
lot of-
clear, TNG was extremely vanilla.
Yeah,
story-wise.
they had a lot of like candlelit dinners
yeah,
and things
right,
like that.
Yeah, but anyway, that I know a lot about Star Trek: The Next Generation.
As do I.
It's okay.
Really?
I'm just saying
can't tell.
you could do it because if you imagine your VR scenario, right?
Uh-huh.
And you have you're having sex with whomever. In the background can be this huge TV
Space.
where it's playing. No,
Oh, it's in the show. Oh, that's a good
You're
point.
watching the show while you're
it's
having-
in VR, so I could be like,
Oh my
sex
God, that's
and
brilliant.
watch, or you could have like just regular porn on that screen. So you're in
Oh
VR
my
porn,
gosh.
but then there's like 2D porn happening on the TV in the VR porn universe.
Yeah.
So it's like retro. Like you're in this retro
Meta.
experience.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like Ron
good.
Jeremy in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I can't. That must have already happened with porn happening in the background of VR porn. Oh yeah, that was like the third thing they did.
what if we put some porn in the porn? We'll blow their minds.
Gonna make it so real.
It'll blow their minds.
Oh my God.
And
It's
then
what
their
you
loads.
always wanted.
Porn in
There's
your
porn in your porn. I heard you like porn, so I put some porn in your porn.
Oh man, bringing back the memes from 20. When was that?
All right. Thank you,
Oh my
everybody.
God.
Thanks, guys, for being on Holy Fucking Science. Hey, if you like Holy Fucking Science, we have stickers available at dftba.com. There's a link in the description. It's
Oh,
right
wait, can I
here.
have one?
It's this one. Yeah, I think we got an extra one around here. Oh, there's one right there. You can have that one.
Cool.
And thanks to our sponsor, Big Sky Brewery. Thanks to Sam for recording the video and audio for us and making all this work. Hopefully, if it didn't work, then you'll never know that the episode even existed.
What?
This has been Hank Green,
Nick Jenkins.
Lindsey Doe.
And Stevie Boebi.
all together on Holy Fucking Science.